All right, guys, current update on current market conditions. Real quick, I just want to start with socials real quick. I'll be really fast. If you guys could definitely follow me. I stay up with the latest information, obviously, on my Twitter. In addition to that, my IG, also my TikTok, I stay up to the latest information on all these. And then if you could also, subscribe and like, that would be greatly appreciated. Thumbs up would be amazing. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. So right now we're going to look at current market conditions. Also, if you guys can comment, that would be great too. With current market conditions right now, as far as the way BTC is sitting, we're not necessarily going to fall over from the current position. It looks kind of bearish. I think in some ways people are looking at it more of the downtrend than the actual uptrend. So currently it looks like we may be sitting in a possible bullish pendant, something that has to be confirmed either to a breakout to the upside or a breakout to the downside. So I'd say right now we can kind of sway either way, but I would say more bullish than bearish. One of the other scenarios I'm looking at right now with the RSI is that we're sitting above the 50. We just deflected off the 50 right here, so we're kind of sitting in that zone of still being bullish to the upside. It's just if we break below that 50 on the RSI strength, I can see us starting to trend down significantly and really coming down for that retrace. We did also double bottom right here on the RSI as far as on the 4-hourly. So we see that double bottom right in there. We're basically showing that the market has kind of confirmed that it wants to try and move up. Again, we're also sitting on the daily time frame as well as many different hour time frames under a bearish divergence. Does that mean the market is trending down? Not necessarily. This could potentially mean that the market is actually kind of consolidating below that bearish divergence. Last time we saw bearish divergence on the market was over here when we ran up for BTC. That ended up running us into an incline wedge, which ended up pulling the market to the downside more or less as far as the way it moved. And because of the incline wedge downside, that pretty much ended the market right there. Ultimately, this could still happen again. It's just the biggest thing is like these bearish divergence on the bigger time frames don't necessarily play out in smaller time frames or in current market conditions, right? So as far as macro goes and everything like that, we still could see some more upside for the market. I would say the strongest movers right now in the space, if we're looking at things, obviously some stock are moving. We got BTC right here running through and you're probably like, what is all this crazy stuff? Basically, me following the decline wedge. So we're basically just kind of repeating ourselves. Right now we're resting on the decline wedge. The only issue is we fell out of this incline wedge right here, right? This bigger wedge right here. So potentially we keep getting deflected on the bottom of the incline wedge, but we could still see upside for BTC. I think BTC is looking kind of bullish in the current market conditions. The other thing we're looking at too is the BTC dominance, right? Why are we looking at BTC dominance? We're looking at BTC dominance because dominance is going to allow us to kind of depict whether or not BTC is going to see that price movement. Price movement is dependent a lot of the time on BTC kind of holding that dominance in the market, right? Otherwise, we're going to see BTC kind of trend sideways like it has been for the past couple days, and we're going to see the alts kind of take over like they have been, right? So alts are where the biggest gains are right now, not really BTC. It's kind of just kind of hanging out there, and that's what's kind of stabilizing the market in the current conditions. I have been bearish as far as a lot of my videos. I still am bearish in the mid-term, but as far as short-term, I think short-term, we have some upside. September, November, maybe even October. We should start to see the downfall start to take place. Typically it's around this time of year. I'll update that in another video. And we should start to see the market start to trend down at a certain point. Right now we're just looking at a secondary alt season. With that secondary alt season, we're basically looking at probably the market ending. Again, I'll notate that in another video. Does this potentially mean that we wait another 4 years? Not necessarily. We can easily, come out of this and come into something new. And as far as market cycles, and that whole thing could change structurally. So keep that in mind. Don't take this as negative. Again, the downside is great because if you come down in the bear market, that's your best price to buy, right, guys? Like ADA in the last bear market on the floor, you're talking about 1 cent ADA. It is now what, $3? That's 300x. You buy on the floor, you sell at the top. That's the story at the end of the day. So basically, with everything said there, I would say at the same time, if you guys could, obviously check out Alex's channel. I'm a coach with Fundamental Secrets with Alex. I think Alex is a great person. but these are kind of different scenarios that you can look at and kind of visualize. Again, thanks guys. Please check out my socials. Have a great day.